Yeah, with the show, but I thought it'd be nice to say hello before I did. I want to talk about yesterday's Premier League football. Leeds got a 1-1 draw at Sunderland. Teenager Archie Gray's first senior goal got Tottenham a 1-0 win over Crystal Palace.
Still in the area of Charlison, it's Archie Gray to score his first senior goal, and it's Crystal Palace 0, Tottenham 1, and 19-year-old Archie Gray's on the score sheet.
Yeah, so Spurs bouncing back from consecutive Premier League defeats, but that was the third defeat on the bounce for Crystal Palace. Let's speak to Palace fan Dan Cook, host of Hopkin Looking at Cowlin, the Palace podcast, and Tottenham fan Chris Cowlin. Morning, both.
Hi,
good morning.
Chris, a big win for Spurs, big win for Thomas Frank, I think.
Absolutely, a much-needed win. Before this game, going into this game, we'd only had one win in 8 in the Premier League. But, yeah, to go to Crystal Palace, a very difficult place to go, to keep a clean sheet. It wasn't a pretty game, far from it, but no. Spurs dug in and we got the result, and that was the main thing. Our attacking play was so much better and, much better than what we've seen in recent games. And as you said there, Archie Gray on the score sheet for the very first time. So we've got to take the positives. But this was a massive win for boss Thomas Frank. But, we've got to build on this now and we've got to find consistency somehow. But I would take the positives that we've had an up and down season and we are still in touching distance of the top European spots. So the second half of this campaign now needs to be a lot better.
Well, this is it, isn't it? For all the fretting about how Thomas Frank is doing, you're 4 points off Chelsea in 5th, I think? Something like that.
I think what it is, Rick, the fan base is not taken by the style of play. There doesn't seem to be any real identity. But, some people, the positive fans, are saying, well, wait until he gets these attacking players back because we've been missing Dominic Solanke and Kulusevski and Maddison and, we've got to have transfer windows as well. So let's see where Spurs can go. But we finished 17th last year. So let's see what Spurs can do this year. But the consistency is the issue. And the entertainment factor has been a big issue. But when you go to places like Crystal Palace and grind the result out, it's about those next games now. And it is about finding that consistency in this Thomas Frank team.
And Dan, from a Palace perspective, talking about it on the Football Daily last night and saying that it was a bit flat, and certainly in the second half when you were chasing the game, the players looked quite tired, I think.
Yeah, it was incredibly flat, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it feels a little bit reductive to say that we're just missing key players. But if you look at the right-hand side, Daniel Munoz has been an absolutely massive player for us from pretty much the moment he first arrived. He's had surgery and he's out for a few weeks. You've got Ismail Assar off at the AFCON at the moment. He's been a huge outlet for us from the moment he first arrived. Daichi Kamada in the middle of the park's injured as well. And, I don't want to just say you've got 2 or 3 players injured so you can't be expected to win games. But with a squad as thin as ours, when you lose that level of quality and you're looking at the sort of fine margins against a side like Spurs, it just leaves you a little bit lacking, particularly with the fixture congestion that we've dealt with this season as well.
I think the other issue was you did create chances, you just weren't clinical. Like Mateta will probably look back and thought he should have got a goal. Lacroix with that header, that should be on target. Like it was certainly not beyond the realms of possibility you get something out of that game.
No, for sure. And I think that's been a consistent theme all season long, really. I saw a statistic yesterday when I got home from the game, and I think we had the lowest XG conversion of any team in the Premier League by quite some distance this season. And on one hand, you're pleased with the fact that we're creating chances. I think yesterday we had almost double the shots that Spurs did. Yeah. But when you're not putting the ball in the back of the net, it's almost more frustrating than if you just can't create, because you know that you've got the quality in terms of creative chances there, and it's about taking them. And, when it happens week after week, it does get incredibly frustrating, unfortunately.
And in terms of Oliver Glasner, we know he was unhappy with what happened in the summer in terms of transfers. He's out of contract next summer. There's a lot of uncertainty, but I think it feels likely, I don't know if you would agree with that he's not going to be with the club going into next season.
Yeah, I think I would probably place his chances of signing a new deal at about 15 to 20% if I was going to be most positive. He hasn't said categorically that he's not going to, and potentially if we spend 30 or 40 million pound in January and we can get up ahead of steam between now and the end of the season, then he might have a change of heart. But his managerial stock's incredibly high. He's always going to be a legend at our club because of winning us our first ever major trophy and taking us into Europe. But yeah, I'm just sort of trying to ride the wave, which is unfortunate because at the moment it's not a particularly happy one to be on.
No, it's sort of quite a flat wave, quite still waters. Nice speaking to you both. Cheers, take care.
Cheers, thanks very much.
Crystal Palace fan Dan Cook there and Tottenham fan Chris Cowlin. Lots more reaction on the 5 Live Football Daily podcast. And before 8 o'clock, we'll have our Monday Breakfast Club this morning with Neil Warnock and Stephen.